公报宣布说，象征人类危机的末日钟再次向前拨快半分钟，也是1953年美国及前苏联第一次进行核弹测试以来最接近所谓人类终结的一次。详情我们连线给记者温婉柔告诉我们，婉柔。
距离世界末日还剩多少时间呢？2017年才开始，1月26号，美国原子科学家公报就宣布将象征末日警示的末日钟往前调快30秒，等于距离世界末日只剩下2分钟半。原因在于全球民族主义兴起，还有美国新上任的总统川普对核武和气候变迁议题的激进言论，让全球的安全风貌日渐黑暗，才会让科学家和学者们决定把末日钟往前调快30秒。而原子科学家公报表示，这次是第一次因为人而大幅拨快时钟。因为川普当上美国总统后，他的言论会成为重要指标，但他却常常口出狂言，让危机更迫在眉睫。这也是自1953年美国跟前苏联第一次进行核弹测试以来，最接近人类终结的一次。
が車の後部を壊しています。
洋介何すぎた次したし関係ないここやばいよここに漏れるってない流されるやつがあれのうわ
「
ちが一番ひどいと思う。めっちゃたまにそうよね。確かな。
あるのか。
Turning back to Japan, heavy rain and flash flooding in southern Japan have forced more than 400,000 people to evacuate their homes. Officials have issued emergency warnings for parts of Fukuoka and Oita prefectures as torrential downpours hit the northern part of Kyushu Island on Wednesday and is expected to continue throughout Thursday. Rescuers are scrambling to reach affected areas to assist those stranded and look for those feared missing.
「川が氾濫してしまったらちょっと困るので、そこら辺はすごく心配です。
すごかったね。これはもう叩きつけよね。
夜9時頃ですね、人が助けてくれということで流れてきたんですよ。で電柱に捕まって、そしてすぐ警察電話して、でもすぐ来るということをやったんですけど、なかなかもうこれだけでこう流れてたもんですから、3時間後助けてきたのが。
The record amount of rain that hit southwestern Japan this week has left at least 6 people dead and around 20 unaccounted for. Authorities have deployed some 7,800 rescuers to search for the missing and help the 700 households stranded by flooding and landslides in Fukuoka and Oita prefectures. The unprecedented rain has led over 600,000 people to evacuate their homes and seek refuge on higher ground. Japan's meteorological agency said that 50 millimeters of rain per hour was registered in some parts of Kyushu and that more rainfall is expected on Friday.
何年か前の時も大丈夫やったですけどね、今年は今度はいいじゃろうと思ってから、ゆうべはうちに泊まったんですよ。で今日朝あれを見に行ってですねあれ見てからもう怖くてですね。
前呢的藤县水文站的水位是25.87米，现在还以每个小时大概5厘米的上涨速度在继续上涨。然后我们在昨天晚上做了水文预报，我们现在主要是受上游柳江的来水影响比较大。
The Xiang River has burst its banks, partially submerging a park in Changsha City. The water level here has reached its highest since record keeping began, surpassing that recorded during China's devastating flood in 1998. Wang Weihong is inspecting his office for the first time since it was flooded over the weekend.
The water is still about a meter high. Everything's been damaged. Electronic appliances and the furniture.
He estimates the damage will cost him at least $30,000. By the riverbank, soldiers and volunteers keep up around-the-clock monitoring service.
The water flowed through 3 times. Despite the sandbags, but together with the soldiers, we managed to stop the flow.
They've been working here for 4 days and expect to stay for at least another 4.
The water has receded slightly, but it's still above the danger level. These sandbags are here to prevent flooding in downtown Changsha. The Xiang River is one of more than 60 in southern China to have risen above warning levels.
As many as 11 million people in 11 provinces have been affected. 1 million people have had to leave their homes as floodwaters inundate homes and buildings. Crops and farmlands have been damaged. The total economic losses so far are estimated to be nearly $4 billion. And with the rainy season set to last till August, the worst of this year's floods may not be over. Florence Lui, Al Jazeera, Changsha, Hunan Province, China. Jiang Peiyun shows us what's left of her family home. But she's soon overcome with emotion. Her 67-year-old mother-in-law was killed.
Mud and water rushed into our house and my mother-in-law drowned. The water was at least waist deep.
Heavy rain had brought down the hill next to the house. Other family members escaped, but they're now homeless, living temporarily with relatives.
3 people lost their lives in Maolu village, killed in landslides caused by heavy rain. People here tell us it had been raining for several days before the slopes gave way.
In this small community, every loss is keenly felt. At another home, a wake is being held for Huang Yulian. Her son tells us they needed to use 2 bulldozers working for 3 days to recover her body.
I am very sad. This tragedy killed my mother and also her sister. 2 days ago, I buried my aunt, and now I'm at my mother's funeral.
The rains have stopped for now, allowing people to start the slow process of rebuilding. But it isn't just homes that need repairing. Crops and farmland have been destroyed. Many farmers here say their harvests this year have been wiped out. And with a month to go before the rainy season ends, it's still too early to count their losses. Florence Louis, Al Jazeera, Maolu Village, Hunan Province, China.
A stark warning from scientists as swathes of southern and eastern Europe sizzle in a heat wave. Extreme weather could kill more than 150,000 people a year on the continent by the start of the next century if nothing is done to curb the effects of climate change. That's a 50-fold increase in the number of deaths from weather disasters compared to today. A study in the Lancet Planetary Health Journal says 2 in 3 Europeans are likely to be affected if greenhouse gas emissions and extreme weather events are not controlled. 2017 has seen its share of disasters, including summer wildfires that left dozens dead in Portugal. The findings suggest heat waves will account for nearly all the additional deaths. After devastating floods in November, Italy is one of the countries hardest hit by the current hot spell, which has claimed several lives. A long, hot summer is something many look forward to in Europe. These forecasts suggest that while enjoying the sunshine will never go out of fashion, danger lies ahead.
Southern and Eastern Europe have been suffering from extreme hot weather recently, with temperatures reaching over 40 degrees Celsius. This abnormally hot wave of weather has been named Lucifer, and Italy and countries in the Balkan Peninsula are the worst affected. The heat wave has fanned forest fires, triggered weather warning alerts, and damaged crops. Firefighters and authorities from Serbia, Bosnia, Macedonia, and Croatia advised people to stay indoors and increase water intake. Researchers are blaming climate change for the abnormal weather. According to the Lancet Planetary Health, heat waves in southern Europe will claim around 99% of future weather-related deaths there.
It's with frustration that he tears down the plants. Months of hard work, all but gone. It's been unusually hot this year, and most of Giuseppe Ladogana's crop didn't make it. He hopes to salvage about a quarter of his yearly production.
We had dry spells in the past, but not as often as now. There used to be 4 seasons. Now we don't see them at all. We go from winter to summer, from one extreme to the other. It's either too cold or too hot. The plants can't follow this cycle. They either bloom too early or just get burnt from the sun.
Italy is in the grip of its worst drought in decades. The Farmers' Union estimates that 2/3 of produce will be affected. In some regions, a state of emergency has been declared. There has been 70% less rainfall this year compared to the previous one, and one of the consequences is that everything is dry. Wildfires erupt nearly on a daily basis. Uncontrolled fires are common in southern Europe in summer, but this year they have been more and they've been bigger. Here in Puglia, authorities say that sometimes there are up to 70 a day. This at a time when water is scarce and choices need to be made. The dam of Capaccio has been temporarily closed. The water level is 3/4 lower than normal.
The source that pours into the dam is dry, and this is the consequence. We've inherited our irrigation system from previous generations, and nothing has been done for the past 50 years. This is very dangerous for future generations. We need to find new ways to collect the water in winter from our rivers.
Water or the lack of it, is a huge concern for Gianfranco Cavallo. He sells his produce to large supermarket chains in Northern Europe, but they demand a certain size and quality, and that's difficult this year. Thirsty plants need to be watered more often, so Gianfranco stopped transplanting the sprouts, which could see his output drop by 50%.
I can't remember living through such prolonged heat waves in my life. There is no more normality. I am very worried. We have to make profit. We have an agriculture business on an industrial scale. If we slow down production for much longer, we will have irreparable damage.
Puglia is known as the granary of Italy. The vibrant color and flavor of its produce, part of its cultural identity. But climate change and unpredictable weather patterns are now threatening what makes the pride and joy of this region. Huda Abdelhamid, Al Jazeera, across Puglia.
Φεύγουν από εδώ όλοι. Ja, schon. Hey, weg da unten! Hinaus! Weg da! Okay, thanks. Give it out to this.
Die Brücken aus Schuld. Das steht keiner. Alter, sogar die Feuerwehr ist dahin. Aus dem Zeichen, weil die BAM hochgekommen. Alle BAM sind da in Wurzeln da.
Also, jetzt haben wir da.
Und die hast einen Klescher gekriegt, weil du die Brücken fetzt da.
Ja, da aufgeflogen der.
Wahnsinn! Da unten sitzt du als Schiedseiten bis Wie gibt's das?
Ja, weil das Aufstellen nicht so zuerst auslassen. Der wird nachher
Wahnsinn! So was ich sage ich auch noch nie, ey. Nein, der Jauch, aber ich glaube, der Jauch tut's nichts.
Schau, ist da drüber wächst.
Wahnsinn! Wahnsinn, ey! Die Brücken, die wächst da die auch noch weg. Aus das Zeichen! Ein Klescher hat so hier nur hinter die Häuser Zeichen, dass die Bamba auf einmal hochkommt. Ja!
Scheiße, die Straße halt so.
Wahnsinn!
Oh, das haben wir, wer so da?
Warte,